Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Phantom Phoenix, and we have another Hogwarts Legacy video for you. This is a continuation of the Hogwarts Legacy showcase. You can check out my other video breaking down the character creator, and this will just be a rundown about the Hogwarts tour. They kind of run around the castle and kind of show things off. So if you're excited for Hogwarts Legacy and you want to continue to see my coverage, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you don't miss any other videos. Let's jump in.
Got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
You said, yeah, I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
Dorm room.
Yeah.
I do love these house robes that they're
What are you
wearing.
seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Yeah. So right now we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left. On the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond. So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them.
Over 20 slottable spells. That is crazy. We'll touch more on the spell combat in the next video when we break down the actual combat demonstration they do. But let's continue.
Very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times, and Revelio is one of those. That's left on the D-pad.
Okay.
On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers.
So they won't show us the spell slot menu, but that's intriguing. So we have this Revelio. I'm assuming that's to find hidden objects that we'll always have access to, and then we'll have this spell slot menu. I wonder if that's quick access to change these 4 spells, or if that can change this reveal spell to something different. So that'll be interesting to see in future showcases, or when this game comes out in February.
Spoilers there, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where
I'm assuming like different potions, maybe some elixirs,
there are a few things that I left off
bombs.
the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our...
I do have some theories about that Hogwarts meter above the health bar that I can help further explain in the combat demonstration.
There's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself. Yeah.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories.
The attention to detail they have in this dorm room is phenomenal. The feel they give, like, you feel like a badger in these little hallways. Kind of reminds me of a Hobbit hole
We really
too.
tried making these low-ceiling dorms to give you that badger sense.
There we go.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that
This
you're
is
hearing
amazing.
for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released, you'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely...
So I want to point something out here that we'll see throughout the video. These green flames you'll see as they do this tour. That's Flue Fire in this game. It's called Flue Flame. Essentially Flue Powder if you're familiar with the Harry Potter universe. those seem to be fast travel locations. So you'll be able to fast travel to and from a bunch of different locations throughout the castle. So we'll encounter a lot of those as they run around here.
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. You can customize that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at that.
If you watch the paintings too, the paintings are animated just like in the movie and the books.
And talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just
The plants are moving.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writing for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
It's got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
Very, very earthy.
which is like elements for each of the houses,
Yeah,
right? Like,
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw is air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We
Wow.
really remake that for each common
Avatar:
room.
The Last Airbender?
So,
Maybe?
Feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were.
Wonder if that will have
It should feel
any
really
implication on the
Yeah,
spells
it
that you
does.
unlock. If there'll be some like
I know
earth
you don't
magic
wanna
that
leave, but we're gonna
Hufflepuff
be
has
leaving.
access to.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the past trailers, it was just music. But
The
kind of
animations
hearing
are
how Hogwarts is
amazing.
now, it's so
I
cool.
do also want to point out that there's, I think,
It's gonna
one
make use of
load
one
screen
of
in
those
this
spells.
entire demonstration.
use Revelio right here because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something. Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages, and you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP.
All right, so I want to point something out here. So if we just look at the aesthetic of the UI, up here it looks like we have our house, and it looks like this is our experience meters. We see we just got 80 XP. We completed a challenge notification up here in this corner. I do want to point out if you look down at the spells, is the backgrounds are even animated, which is again just more attention to detail that they put into this game.
For it, and you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge
Okay,
up in the
okay.
corner.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue, I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay, okay.
And so
I think
we have
that's
an answer to that
Peeves.
question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before you push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu it's got this book theme.
Wow.
So I love what they did here. Up front, it's very house aesthetic. So Hufflepuff. It looks like they're currently level 2. We have our map, our quests, and owl posts. So I'm not quite sure if we will be able to send mail to other players or if that's to receive gifts from the developers or from in-game quest rewards. Maybe we'll get from the owl post. Obviously, settings menu, challenge menu, collectibles. These talents, I'm assuming, are going to be our skill trees to enhance our spells as we work through those. Our inventory and our gear. So definitely a very in-depth RPG from what it looks like. As we'll have inventory, gear, and also a skill tree of some kind of skills.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your house kind of
Right,
crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Okay,
And you
okay.
can see that on your level as well. So that the Field Guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you, and the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors
So
that
cool.
granted it to you as a late fifth-year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities.
I love
to
the
learn
lore
all around you. So the way it works
they give
is
us
as
for
you
these
discover
challenges
gameplay in
and
the game, it
objectives.
actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration challenges.
Just
and you can see field
look at
guides
the-
are on there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
The
So
detail,
that-
every single one of these icons is animated as
that
you
entire
hover over
category is one
it.
of the ways that,
It lights
the book
up.
itself kind of
It's
builds
just,
out
this
into
is
the
probably
school,
going to
still rather
be
than school, and
one of the
kind
most
types
beautiful
of
games that comes out in
activities that you need to
2023.
do around the school that you're
For
actually
art
going to
direction.
interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn
Yeah.
XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game, discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone.
Oh my goodness, 100 pages in the castle?
Circular staircase.
Oh,
Tower.
there's
And I
another,
noticed the food
what
place
looks like a
was
fast
8 and
travel
9 right there,
location.
which is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there.
we can see a chest icon down there at the mini
How much
map.
fun was it designing those and putting all
Oh, they're
those in
gorgeous,
there?
but
But
they're there just like in the book.
yes,
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
it's a nod to
Yeah.
lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the
Yeah,
game. It is
we didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And
Okay,
there's lots of
so
things
I was
where
curious
you
about that,
want
if
to
house
things
points
that
would
aren't
be a
necessarily gameplay
core
systems,
mechanic in
but
this
we nod
game.
to them as part of the narrative.
But it sounds like
Part of the
There.
you'll get house points a part of the story and the narration, but it's not
He's just kind of like
implicative to gameplay.
Cool. Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you
Wow,
can do and pick
so
up and-
cool.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. That part right there. I
Um,
recognize that.
So if you didn't
Little
notice,
fan service here
this-
with callbacks to the
this bottom spell is Accio.
so,
And this must be summertime, because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the season.
Yeah, the detail they put in this is kind of, I get surprised
The
by it all the time.
windows
Sentient magic
change
castle.
with the season. Listen to that. The windows of the castle will change with the in-game seasons. That is crazy. Like, who thinks about doing that in their game? This game is, pun intended, this game is gonna be magical.
Oh man.
And I'm just like an above average Harry Potter fan. I can't imagine what this would be like for fanatics.
Kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside the Great Hall before and after meals.
Courtyard looks just like in the movies.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of
Oh
things.
my
So you really get a
goodness.
sense of scope
Yeah.
to how big this castle
And
is.
when you see things like you'll
Again, I want to go back to this. So, look, we're gonna transition from this giant castle to this massive outdoor area.
this is where the students
Split of a
sit down,
second,
kind of
no
congregate,
load
just to
screen.
kind of
The
chill out,
lighting was
play,
perfect
meet
as
each
you
other
open
outside
the
Great
door and the
Hall
sun's
before and
shining
after
in
meals.
on you. It's phenomenal.
And I,
Just
And
jump
all
back
the
ahead.
trees that have overgrown it, and
Oh my gosh.
that landscape, that
this
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view.
Oh my
Andrew is
goodness.
taking us right back to
I am
that.
going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
Oh, there's puzzles to do.
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything.
So we're gonna walk right back indoors into the castle. No load screen, seamless transition.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love
that
that.
Animated
each direction, You know,
paintings.
it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard. You know, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub
Oh my
of
god.
a lot of the castle.
Even the color visually, you can just tell. Okay, green.
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh my.
Oh,
A lot
that's
of it'll be subcolored,
that's
but
cool.
It'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's
I
easy to
cannot
learn.
wait
All
to
of us
just
here still
explore
get
this
pretty
castle.
lost in it
It
on
is a
daily
castle.
basis.
It
It's a
is.
castle.
Great point.
to find all the little secrets they have.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
If y'all see something in the background that I missed, please comment below and let me know what I
Another
missed.
location where the students will gather, you know, and just kind of chill
Hey,
out.
look, a quest.
And an
And,
opportunity
it's pretty
to
obvious.
talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited.
The
to
facial
get to know
animations
these about.
The
aren't
what keys?
The Daedalian keys.
the
Surely you've seen them
most
flying about.
amazing,
Rumour
I'll
is
say.
that a former headmistress,
They're-
Professor
they're
Mong, conjured
good,
them to protect the contents
suitable.
of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Okay,
Perhaps
so let's
they'll
go
do
back
that.
and look at
I
that.
hope you do. In Ford.
Alright, so I'll look into it, and then it looks like we can learn more about the quest. Why would the headmistress do such a thing? Why don't you follow the keys? Okay, so seems like a pretty basic RPG dialogue system. I don't believe there's any
Perhaps they'll
sort
do
of
that.
I hope you do. In fact,
Paragon
I think I
Renegade
heard
system
one
in
of the
this
keys in the
game,
astronomy tower. You should listen
but there
to it.
might be.
So those kind of
I
side
like
quests are
the
really, it's a cool way to interact
You managed to
with
open the
your
house?
fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
In this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things. in
Another
their
fast
lives. So
travel
these
location.
affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yeah, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts
Power.
Tower.
It seems like you can really,
This is one of
anywhere
my
you see,
favorite
you can go,
locations
which
in the castle.
is
Just
crazy.
visually, you come in here and just the richness of
It is
this area.
very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am?
Nope.
Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoil sports. Leander
Her
Crowley
face
thought it
animation
worse. That
seems
no
better than
talent
the
in my
last
mind.
person we
I
talked
wanted to
to.
make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Sounds awful. That's exactly what I
I
said.
haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one
And they
of the
do
worst
say
losers.
in a minute that
Everett and
Gobstones
Astoria
is not a
deserve as
playable
well.
mini
And
game
now
in
those
this,
poor losers have
nor
taken my
is
gobstones
Wizard's
and
Chest.
hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
Sure, give me a side quest.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that interaction with her because there's so many ways.
So it seems
to
like
go with
a
that. You can,
collectible
you can
quest.
Feel for her, you can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that quest icon that you see on screen
That's a good
is
example of
pointing out where they are, or if that's just back to the quest giver.
Gobstone's playable.
Oh, it looks like they're all down on the mini map. You can see
Gobstones
all
is
of their
one of the things that is not
locations.
playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things.
I do want to point out that this classroom looks very similar to the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom in the movie, which I think is awesome. You'll hook a lot of people if you tie in a lot of these locations to what they've seen, and also read in the books. So they definitely did their homework when creating the castle.
Honestly, it's both it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall health of
Wizard's
the thing.
Chess.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world.
Right. I'm glad they mentioned they're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge
That's
it,
such a
touch
dope
it,
dragon.
you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're
your
like,
reaction.
we're getting,
So
like,
cool.
We're in Defense Against the Dark Arts Pass. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at as it was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it, so tell us how classes work.
Yeah, so ultimately we decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations
the
was
Lord.
their time of day and, you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but
Okay.
everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing in the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors, each one of them.
That's actually, I think, a really good way to do that is make your classes quests, and then your rewards are your advanced spells or your abilities that you learn by going to those classes. Excuse me. So I think that is a really good way to do it. It seems like some will be side quests, optional quests. Obviously, there's going to be some story classes you have to attend to get, you know, your basic spells, which I think will be good.
It has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions, and then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure, and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world, and, you know, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with
Victorian high, you know,
high society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area, because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Again,
Oh, come on.
another seamless transition
Speaking
from
of
indoors to
Blizz, like,
outdoors.
the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening, and the footsteps, like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, brooms going
I
by
just saw a broom
overhead.
go by. Love that.
Oh, this
The
game's
data
going
tower
to be
was one
just
example, but
hours
no two hallways
of
should look the same.
exploration.
It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player, help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality, and
That's really cool to
personality. I like that because
Yeah,
it
a
gives
lot of
it does like
character.
It's
Hogwarts
not a
has character.
procedurally
Hogwarts is its
generated
own
castle.
character no matter
They,
where you go.
Yeah.
designed every single hallway to be
Just a
different,
little bit different.
so you
Especially
can
castle full
learn
of
where you
magic
are,
for
but
hundreds
also
of years.
have a
It's
different
going to
feel.
And
grow
full
and
of,
develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters,
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist figure.
you know, we talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side.
Oh,
That's
do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah.
and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another
Well,
Revelio page there.
Yeah,
Yep,
there's
that's cool.
A map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
hides behind it. That's right.
Third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just pass.
That's
a
really
music
cool.
hallway where the
They brought in
organs have
a
kind of
lot
taken
from the
over,
books too.
so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are.
Of course, people would
at
criticize
the
that.
Owlry. We're looking directly at the Owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the Owlry.
I
all
love the
owls.
fog rolling down now.
Great callback. Great call.
I also love that as one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to.
Are you kidding me?
I just love that.
Everything,
That is really
he just said that everything you see outside of this school you can go
Closing
to.
out our mini tour
That
of
is
Hogwarts, and again,
phenomenal.
but a fraction of this enormous castle. But we're closing it out here in the some gameplay.
I cut it there. I'm gonna loop this. They're about to go into the combat demonstration, which will be the next video. So don't forget to hit that notification bell, like and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on Hogwarts Legacy. If you're excited like I am, I'm going to play the crap out of this game when it releases in February. Don't forget to comment down below if I missed anything, if you saw something that you thought was cool that you saw on this tour, or just comment what you're excited about for this game. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.